Are you really enjoying the moment, or are you just trying to make it look good for Instagram? And your cozy morning routine, is it actually for you, or is it just, for your followers online? No judgment here, because we've all been there at some point. But today we're unpacking the difference between living your life, like savoring your life, and performing it, and how to actually live the cozy, beautiful life that you crave. Even if the lighting's bad, you don't quite fit into your shorts, you're not wearing makeup, there's dishes in the sink. And if you're new here, I'm Suan, and this is Cozy Notes, a quiet little space where we can just talk about mindful living and how to actually do it without like selling all our stuff and moving to a Scottish island. Because I know you thought about it. I've thought about it too. So let's get into it. So how do we live our life and not just curate it? Because I feel like that's what life has become. Just us curating this ideal life that we share online. But is it really ideal? Are we really happy? We look online, we see these pictures and we think, oh, that person is living the best life ever. But are they really? Are they really living the best life ever? Or are they just, performing basically so that people will like their stuff and share and subscribe and what have you? Because that's like the new metric of self-worth, I guess. Like how many subscribers we have online, how many followers we have, if someone shared our post or whatever, if we've gone viral, etc. I mean, even if you're not like a content creator, like we still have these metrics that kind of define us. And it's like, yeah, let's put that away. Let's go back to like 15, 16 years ago. I don't know when Instagram came out. Let's go back before that and, start savoring our life again. Because I don't know about you, but whenever my phone breaks or is at a commission or I forget it or out of battery, whatever, I'm enjoying life. I'm doing things that I enjoy to do. I'm just like in the moment. I'm just present. And I love it so much. And so why don't we do that more often? Because we're always connected to our phones. We're always online. We're always checking our phones. I mean, the other day I took my son to get his hair cut, and every single person in there was on their phone with like that bent neck. Chiropractors are going to be making a lot of money in a few years fixing all the bent necks out there. I think what we need to do is practice feeling presence. And yes, if you're watching the video version of this, I'm in my backyard right now, and it's a little breezy, so you're probably going to hear some cars. If a dog or people walk by, my dog is probably going to start barking at them. I would live near an airport, so you're probably going to hear an airplane or a jet, because we also live near a military base. So yeah, it's going to be a little noisy out here. So romanticizing your life, making your life feel special even when it's like mundane and boring, is great. It's like, it makes you feel good about the life that you live and not feeling like you need to do more, etc. But at the same time, it gets to the point where it becomes performative, where you're doing it because people had like commented on, oh, you have such a calm, peaceful morning, or, oh, you posted some aesthetic picture online and people comment on that, and then you start doing it more, right? And it just becomes performative. It's no longer real life, if you got to take a picture of it. Like, did it happen if you didn't take a picture? It did, but you may feel like it didn't because you weren't able to share it with other people. But do you really need to share everything that you're doing with other people? I don't think so. I think social media has kind of blurred the lines between living and documenting. And we need to step away from that. We need to step back a bit. Step back. And I know it's hard because we use our phones, our devices for everything. Like everything, we're stuck on it, and it's hard to let go. It's hard not to share, especially like if you decide to delete your Instagram app like I did in the beginning. It's hard because you're going to notice how often you pick up your phone to open the app without even thinking about it. It's like muscle memory, and you're going to realize like how often you do it, and you're going to be shocked, and you're going to be kind of disgusted with yourself. But then after a while, it gets easier. It gets a lot easier. You get used to it. You just have to get over that kind of, you're detoxing, right? So you got to get all that out of you before you can actually live and enjoy your life. And another thing is that we often use, posting this aesthetic life online as a form of escapism in order to escape our reality or avoiding our real lives in some sense, because not every moment, we want to romanticize our life. We want to share our life, not share our life, but we want to romanticize our life so that we actually love the life that we live. But at the same time, not everything is going to be, peachy. Some things are not going to be, you're not going to be able to romanticize. Maybe there's illnesses, maybe there's loss, maybe there's, difficulty with family members or a stressful job or even a job loss or something. So not every part of your life is going to be romantic. And so sometimes we escape our real life by romanticizing our lives. We need to stop escaping is what I'm trying to say, I guess. We need to face reality. But then also at the same time, we need to enjoy the life that we do have, the good parts of it, and not just run away. So before I did this whole life coaching thing, I still am a homeschool mom, but I had a homeschool blog. I had a homeschool Instagram account. And then even before that, I had a food account. It's kind of food and lifestyle. And it was just, I was just documenting a lot of my life. And I had a lot of followers. But it got to the point where everything I was doing was for the followers and not so much for myself or to share with family. It had grown beyond family and friends. And I think once that happened, then everything I was doing was much more performative than it was reality. I was always trying to get the good shot, always trying to get some video, always trying to live this ideal life, which wasn't my whole life. It was a small part of my life. But then also I had to, make sure everything looked good and it was the right angle and just had to make everything, just so. And it was, I didn't like it. It became draining, and it got to the point where I just didn't want to do homeschool stuff anymore. I pretty much shut down. I ended up deleting the app and no longer wanted to write on my homeschool blog, wanted to share homeschool content. And I used to have, make homeschool videos as well. And I started doing less and less of those and not enjoying them. And I just totally shut down. And there was a lot of reflection I had to do. And I realized that even though homeschooling is part of my life, it wasn't my whole life, and it wasn't what I wanted to share online with the world. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. And once I realized that, and then started exploring what is the common denominator in everything that I do, and that is living a slower paced life, being, not embracing the hustle culture and just being more offline, because I realized that's what I wanted to do, is be more offline and enjoy the life that I live rather than being online all the time and sharing the life I was living. So so I had to totally delete the app. And eventually, once I decided to go become a life coach, and I took classes, went to school for it. And then after I graduated, I started this coaching business, and I hired a business coach. And she was telling me, you need to be on Instagram and you need to figure out what is it that turns you off from it. And I think it's the performative aspect. I told her it's the performative aspect. It doesn't feel like real life. I'm just performing, and I don't want to do that. And she's like, why don't you just share your real life, the messy? It doesn't have to be perfect. Even starting this podcast, she was like, that's part of your life, is that you have kids, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a homeschool mom, your kids are running around, they're everywhere around you. So it's okay. You don't have to have that studio quality podcast, just show real life, because that's what people love about you. That's what they, when you're on your YouTube channel, that's what they love, is that you show real life. It's not something performative. You show the mess, you show the chaos, and you show the good parts too, and you romanticize the good parts. So it's like being true to myself, but not having to document everything in order to perform and to live this ideal life that other people, yearn to have. And I think romanticizing my life with intention has helped me bring back joy into my life, and joy in homeschooling, and joy in sharing my life as well. And then also not being performative. Like, that's, once I realized I don't have to perform, I don't have to put this show, everything just got easier and more joyful. Like being on Instagram, when I do log on and share, it's more joyful. But I still have a problem. I still, like, the way my brain works, if I have the app on my phone, I automatically open it without even thinking. And I don't like that. So I do have to delete my app. I have to delete it and then put it back on, and delete it and put it back on. But it works. It works for me. I've tried everything, and this is the only thing that really works for me. Maybe I just need to dive deeper and figure out more. What is this like weird muscle memory that I have of opening my phone and opening up Instagram right away? I'm not sure. But I mean, maybe it stems to, being a stay-at-home mom. Like most of my friends my age, because I am an older mom, their kids are older, right? And then on top of that, most of my friends were working full time. They were not home as well. And so my connection with people was online. In the beginning, it was Facebook, because there was like a Facebook mom group that I was part of. And then it turned into Instagram, and then the homeschool community, really connected with other homeschoolers through Instagram and stuff. I guess it was a sense of connection, but I wasn't really connected, right? I didn't really feel connected to people. I feel connected to people when I'm one-on-one with them, when I'm, really listening to them, and not so much just liking their posts and commenting on something. And I need real human connection, I realize. So how can you live your life and not curate it? For one, practice presence. And that means put your phone down. You don't need your phone. You don't need to document everything. You don't. Just feel the sun on your face, sip your tea, and watch your kids' expressions, because I don't know about you, but my kids make some really funny faces when they're talking to each other. I don't know what the heck, especially my oldest son. He's a character. And the next is to create moments just for you, not just for your camera roll. Create it just for you. So sometimes when I go do something, I will get some B-roll for Instagram and stuff like that. But at the same time, I will put my phone away. Like, my phone is not out the whole time. My phone may be out for like 10 seconds, and then that's it. And then I put it away, and I try to be present and just enjoy my surroundings. Like earlier today, after I dropped my kids off at surf camp, my dog and I went for like a little walk at these bluffs nearby. And I did film a little bit, but I was intentional, and okay, I'm just going to film for a little bit, and then I'm going to put my phone away, and then I'm going to enjoy this walk with my dog. We're going to try to find some harbor seals in their little, it's not a nesting area, it's their sanctuary, I guess. And didn't find them, but still, walked around, checked things out, took a path that we hadn't done before, and it was really nice just to be present. And then also, my dog isn't the friendliest of dogs, and so just trying to get him used to being around other dogs, especially when we're crossing paths on the trails, because when you're walking the streets, at least around here, when we walk our neighborhood, not the street, I'm not walking streets. When we walk our neighborhood, most people with dogs will cross the street if they see someone else with a dog. It's like, COVID all over again. But, so it's kind of nice to be able to walk a trail and then have to teach my dog how to be calm and respectful and not bark at other dogs. And so that was good too. And I had to be present for that. If I'm on my phone, it's kind of hard to be present with that. But so often I see people on their phones while walking. or there was a viewpoint over the ocean. I was going to sit down with the dog, but the bench next to us, there was this guy with the beautiful viewpoint in front of him, but he was on YouTube watching a video. And it's like, okay, didn't really want to hear his video because it was like blasted loud. So it ended up not sitting, and you can probably hear it playing right now. So yeah, just create moments that are just for you and for no one else. You don't need to share everything, and it still happened even though you didn't share it. And then also let your life be messy. It's okay. There's no such thing as a perfect life. A cozy life isn't perfect at all. Even though, on Instagram or on YouTube, you see people living this cozy life, but a lot of that is stylized, right? A lot of that is like a little corner of their house made to look cozy, but is it their whole house? No. It's not their whole house at all. And the cozy life is not perfect. I live a cozy life, but my life is not perfect. My house is not perfect. I have stains on the carpet. My kids pee all over the toilet. Or my boys, I should say. The dog is a little grumpy. Even though we tidied up our back patio, it gets messy really, really quickly. My house in general gets messy really quickly because it's small, and I have 3 kids and a dog and a cat, and then a husband who has ADHD or something. And yeah, my house just gets messy very easily, and we have to clean often. And it'd be nice if we didn't have to clean often, but that's not the case. It's messy. It's lived in. It's real. And sometimes it involves mismatched socks. And the next is to be honest with yourself. The things that you're doing in your life, are you doing it to feel something? To make you feel a certain way? Or are you doing it to show something? To show other people? As a life coach, I help my clients come up with goals in the 3 months that we work together. And 99% of the time, those goals are feeling-based goals. How do they want to feel? And usually they want to feel vibrant. They want to feel alive. They want to feel strong and healthy. They want to feel the best version of themselves. And it's so much more satisfying when you're doing something to make yourself feel better than it is to show someone else who you may or may not know that well. Or maybe you were friends back in the day, and the only way you connect is them liking your content or something. I don't know. But yeah, be honest with yourself. Are you doing this to feel something or to show something? And then finally is to savor the ordinary. So, folding laundry sucks. Listen to music while you do it. Eating lunch is kind of boring sometimes. Go outside and eat lunch. All these little moments count. I remember there was a time, I used to be a teacher before homeschooling my kids and before life coaching. I was a middle school teacher and an AVID coordinator, and I took my AVID students to a local university that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. And the cafeteria there had this patio that overlooked the ocean. It was just so beautiful. And none of the students were out there. I mean, all of my students were out there. That's where they wanted to eat lunch, was to eat on that patio and look at the ocean. But all the students at the university were all inside. They were not, enjoying the space that they were in, I guess. Yeah, be stressed out about your assignments. You can still work outside. You don't have to be inside. You can do your schoolwork outside. You can have your conversation with your friends outside. You can sit in silence and just watch the view and de-stress. Yeah. So savor the ordinary. I'm sure they were tired. The view was always there. So they just kind of, it wasn't as enthralling to them as it was to my students. But, maybe that's something we need to do, is to be enthralled by the ordinary. Right now, I'm outside. It's a perfect day out, and it's warm with a nice, cool ocean breeze. I'm under the patio, so I'm not getting too much sun, so I'm not hot. And I'm sitting on my new chairs that I got for our patio, and it's just delightful. It's really delightful here. So I'm glad I'm recording this outside. Kind of weird recording outside because you don't know who's listening, because we do have neighbors. But I'm doing it. So reflection questions for you. When was the last time I felt truly present and content with no desire to capture or share it? What part of my life am I trying to aestheticize? Can I say that word? Aestheticize to make them feel more tolerable. And finally, what would change if I stopped trying to make my life look perfect and just allowed it to feel good? So, if this episode made you want to put your phone down, which I hope it did, and actually live your life, that's the whole point. And if you're ready to go deeper into creating a slower, more intentional life that feels cozy and meaningful from the inside out, I have a few one-on-one coaching spots available this summer. And I would love to work with you in there. So I'll leave all the information down in the description or the show notes below. And I hope that you can reclaim some time for yourself and really enjoy the life that you love. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Love you so much. Ciao.